Hey y'all! Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, take a look around. If you enjoy that content, please be sure to like it, and also make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. In addition, hit the bell so that you are notified of whenever I post new content. We also have a Facebook group, Craftable Things, and we would love if you would join us there as well. For my returning subscribers, hey y'all, welcome back. So today's video, we are going to be using these silicone molds that I got from Alibaba, and we are going to be making some straw toppers. Now they have these silicone molds on Etsy, on Amazon. You can get them from anywhere. I purchased some in bulk, and these you can make straw toppers, you can make keychains, and these are the silicone molds that you also use to make the domino sets. So today, that's what we are going to be doing. I am not going to prolong this. Let's get started because I'm super excited about doing these straw toppers. So here's everything that we will be using today. Of course, our silicone molds for the straw toppers. We will also be using these silicone cups, or I will probably use some of these mouthwash cups that I have. I always use those, and this is just a silicone stirrer. I also have the wooden stirrers too. This is a UV light to help cure the UV resin that we'll be using. And I got this glitter from Michael's, and I just have some extra glitter around. Not sure what I'm going to use. And of course, this pigment powder. I will be using some of that today. Make sure that you have your gloves. You want to make sure you're using gloves when handling the resin. It's just like handling epoxy. You want to make sure you even are in a ventilated place, and or you have on the proper mask while doing this project. All right, so we're about to get started. This is the UV resin that we will be using. Everything that I'm using, you guys will be able to find the links in the description. You can get this done with regular epoxy. It will just need to be cured a lot longer. So this project will probably take you about 2 days to get it done. Make sure everything's cured, and yeah, so you don't have to have UV resin. All right, also with the UV light, you can sit this outside in the sun and it will cure in a few hours also if you set them outside in the sun. All right, so now I'm just going to mix a little bit of the UV resin with some of that black glitter that I have. And this black glitter, actually, I think it bleeds. The dye on the glitter kind of just turned the resin into the color black, and it's not very glittery. So I'm just going to stir it, and we will get ready to start putting it inside of the mold. Alright, so make sure to get in all the crevices, and if you see any bubbles, you can use a toothpick to pop those bubbles prior to using your heat pen. But just make sure you're getting it all over the place. I'm doing this side in black, and then I am going to make another mixture of epoxy and gold glitter for the other side. Now I'm going to mix a little bit of the gold glitter into the epoxy, and I'm going to repeat the same step that I did with the black glitter and just start placing it into all of the crevices. And I'm going to be really careful at the end when finishing with the gold, because I want some of that gold, the gold stars, to kind of be very visible at the top of the straw topper. I'm all done filling both sides with the glitter and epoxy, and all I'm doing now is taking a Q-tip with a little alcohol on it and just cleaning the edges. I do not want anything that's on the top of the straw topper to get hard under the UV resin, and then I have to try to sand it off. So I just want to make sure it's as clean as possible. Next, I'm going to use this heat pin to pop some of the bubbles that have gotten trapped inside of the epoxy. If you want, as you're pouring the epoxy mixture into the whatever silicone molds you're using, you can blow out some of those bubbles as you go along instead of waiting to the end, because bubbles do get trapped throughout this process, and you don't want to lift that mold out and you have bubbles or holes. These molds are now ready to go under the UV light, and it is suggested for you to let this sit under the light for about 3 minutes. However, I would recommend a little bit longer for these molds because they are pretty deep, and you want to make sure that they are fully cured prior to taking them out of the mold. Okay, so I'm going to let this sit under here, and as this is under the light, I am going to start mixing my other mixture of the epoxy and the pigment powder so that I can start getting prepared for the next mold. Now, with the pigment powder, you don't really need a lot, and even the epoxy, it goes a long way. So don't fill up all of your bottle with epoxy or all of your cup with epoxy and think you need a lot. You really don't need a lot. I am not putting a lot in these cups. And that pigment powder, the more pigment powder, the richer the color is. But honestly, even with very little pigment powder, you have very, very nice colors. Alright, y'all, so I think this is done. I'm going to check this out and make sure. However, I just want you to know I'm using a silicone mat, and see, some of that solution got onto the silicone mat, and that's why I use the silicone mat, because it's so easy just to remove it and take it off. I don't have to worry about it getting stuck to anything. So I'm going to check and see if these molds are done, and it looks like they may need a little bit more time underneath the light, because when I lifted it, I saw where underneath it wasn't fully cured. The top is cured, but that bottom is not cured. So you want to be very careful when lifting it out. Sometimes you can even turn it and let it cure from the back of the mold. Alright, let's see if it is set, and the gold glitter looks to be set pretty nicely, and we can take that out fine. However, that black is not fully cured yet. I can tell because it is still a little wet when I take it out. There's still a little bit of the mixture in the mold, and so I am just going to set this underneath the light. I'm going to set the mold, and I'm going to set the topper underneath the light so that it can cure a little more. I'm going to get ready to fill the next molds with the pigment powder and epoxy mixture, and it's pretty much the same way that you fill these mixtures up. Nothing special. Just make sure as you're going along, try to pop any bubbles that you see along the way. So I usually try to take my time and just make sure that there are no bubbles. Make sure you're getting in all of the crevices to make sure that everything kind of comes together the way that it is supposed to. All right, so I'm going to speed this up because I know you guys do not want to see me just taking my time placing this epoxy inside of the molds. I just like to make sure that I clean along the way so that I don't forget, and I don't want to cure that underneath the light and then have to worry about sanding it down. I'm just going to continue filling this mold, and I am going to move into the third mold, and you guys will see the outcome very soon. So now I'm going to get ready to put the straw toppers together, and you can do this with Gorilla Glue, you can do this with any strong adhesive. I am simply going to be using the epoxy resin to put the straw toppers together, and I'm just going to put little dots, and then I'm going to take a toothpick or one of the wooden sticks and just kind of smooth it out, and I will then place the other piece of the straw topper on top, and I am going to stick this underneath our UV light just the same way we did as when we were making the straw toppers. All right, I keep wanting to say cake topper because I'm always making cake toppers, but these are straw toppers. So I'm going to stick it underneath the light, and I am going to repeat this same process for the other straw toppers. Also, I kept this underneath the UV light for about 3 minutes. So each of the toppers I kept underneath the UV light for about 3 minutes, even though we were just curing the middle. But I know that the other parts are a little thick, so I wanted to make sure that it was nice and firm and stuck. So the first two are already done, and I'm happy with how they came out. They're very pretty, and if you want, you can kind of put a little bit of the epoxy around the edges if you see any holes or gaps. That's what I do, but I'm pretty much happy with these. I am going to bling out one of these toppers though. So I forgot to press the record button when I started blinging out this straw topper, and I'm just putting rhinestones on it. I'm using gem tack. I absolutely love gem tack. I don't have rhinestones falling off, so I usually use that, and that's what I'm doing to bling out the front of one of these straw toppers. Alright y'all, so that's it. We are done making these straw toppers, and look how nice, look how cute they turned out. The only thing with that black glitter that I got from Michael's, it actually seems like it kind of, I don't know, it turned into black. It's really not glittery. Okay, so I don't know if the dye from the glitter started to dissolve and it's more so black. It's not sparkly, but these came out really good. This was the other one, and the last one that I did a little extra bling to, this is what this one looks like. So it simply goes on top of your tumblers, or in my case, it goes on top of my sweet tea. What a cute addition. However, it does make a cute addition to your tumblers. If you have a themed tumbler, these are perfect for themed tumblers. I've seen Mickey straw toppers like this and other different straw toppers. So that's going to be it for today. Our 3 straw toppers came out really nicely, and it didn't really take that long. Remember, you can use the UV resin, which this cures a little bit quicker. However, it's recommended that you press it under the light for about 3 minutes. I would suggest going a little bit longer. As you guys saw, some of it hadn't cured within those 3 minutes, so I would suggest for you to go a little bit longer and turn them over to cure the back. Alright, but that's it for today, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like it, and also if you're not a subscriber and you enjoyed today's content, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. But that's it, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.